Hello, everybody, and welcome to Planet FPL, the world where everything rolls around Fantasy Premier League. My name is Suj.
Sure, you sound like you were going to forget there for a minute.
No.
My name's James. How are you?
I'm very well. Do you know why I hesitated? Because I said, I'm going to say, my name is Suj. You're going to say, your name is James. And then I didn't even know if our guest was going to jump in and just say, your name is.
I'll introduce him, I think, Suj. We are hosting today our big fat quiz of 2021, but we're not doing it ourselves. We've got the ultimate quizmaster back on to quiz us. Many of you might remember Tom Campbell joined us during our 24-hour stream last summer and got us ready in the morning with a quiz to help wake us up. And the man is back. Let me introduce you to Tom Campbell at Utterly TC on Twitter. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing well, James. Yeah, really good to be here. And good morning, Suj, as well. And morning to all the listeners. Yeah, I'm excited because that was a lot of fun doing the quiz all that time ago, and hopefully this one will be good for the listeners too.
We did that quiz about 8 a.m, didn't we?
It was early doors, yeah.
It's one of the few things I actually remember from that.
Yeah.
The later it got, the more drunk you got. Yeah.
I don't know why. From about 9 o'clock onwards, not a clue.
Yeah. Man, that was that. You guys have any plans to revisit?
No, Tom, no.
Every time it gets mentioned, Jay's like,
honest to God, like I'm a big YouTube fan, as you know, and I watch these people do like charity streams and stuff, and they all kind of peak at like 12, 14 hours, but the 24 is, that was a big commitment. But yeah, I can understand that answer. Rather you than me.
So we're quizzing today, Tom. I feel like this is like the last pod of the year, but it's not, because we still have another full episode to put out tomorrow, James, reviewing Gameweek 20. But it is a kind of wrap up of 2021. Do you want to give us a rundown of how it's going to work?
Yeah,
so
cool.
Listeners can get their pen, paper, however.
Get your pen, your paper, your app, your notes app, and all the rest of it down. So James got in touch with me a little while ago and said, are you interested in doing this? I was like, definitely, like the sound of my own voice, so I'll do that. And he was like, and then it came, drip fed. He was like, 50 questions. So hang on a minute, like that's a lot. So I've gone for 30 questions, but there are 60 points available. So some of the questions will have multiple answers available. So if I've got ones that say have 3 or 4 players, I will say that, and you'll be able to submit, 3 or 4 players in your answer. You get a point per correct name. So it gives people a chance to get more points. I've got 5 rounds. The first round, as you say, it's on 2021, but obviously 2021 spans 2 seasons. So some of the questions, pertain to last season, albeit the second half, but that'll all become clear in how I've worded them. So the first round is on European football. The second is on Premier League. The third is on transfers. The fourth is on sort of general football trivia. And the fifth is FPL. So
he was going to do that.
Had to sneak an F because I remember how much disdain that got from James.
Stop the FPL stuff.
I know. I was like, shall I let him off in the spirit of Christmas? No. So that's it. So it's 5 rounds. As I say, 60 points total. That's what you're shooting for. But I will say how many points are on offer for each one.
Good.
Right,
and
sounds quite
gents, let's agree one thing. Are we marking round by round, or should we do them all and mark it at the end? I think we do them all and mark it at the end.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, that was my intention. So
nice.
But I'll give the at the end of each round, Suj, I can repeat any if you want to do that, because it might be a bit too far ago otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Repeating 30 questions with 60 answers all at the end you might need a glass of water or a scotch to get you through that. So
it's early again. I expect Tom to have the whiskey ready. Yeah,
of course.
There's a multitude of drinks in front of me. So
there you go.
Nice.
Cool.
Right, let's get into it then.
Rightio. Okay, so round 1, as I say, this is on European football. So 5 questions in this round and 5 points available. So question 1, who were the only team to beat Chelsea in the Champions League in the 2020-2021 season? I'll just say that again. Who were the only team to beat Chelsea in the Champions League in the 2020-2021 season?
All right, let's call it quits. I got 100%.
Okay. Question 2. Who is the current, i.e. this season's, top scorer in the Champions League? Who is the current 2021-2022 top scorer in the Champions League?
Suj, I really expect the UCL fantasy pods we do every other Tuesday on Patreon to now be helping you at this point.
I got one. I didn't want to shout out and say it because I didn't want to kind of give away the obviousness of the answer, but I got one.
Okay, good. Okay, question 3. The 2021 Europa League final between Villarreal and Man United ended on penalties, with David De Gea missing the decisive penalty. But who scored Man United's goal in normal time? Say again, just whilst having a think. The 2021 Europa League final between Villarreal and Man United ended on penalties, with David De Gea missing the decisive penalty. But who scored Man United's goal in normal time? Okay. Question 4. Which current Premier League player is leading the assist charts in the Champions League this season?
Grim. So you know them Tuesday Patreon pods?
Yeah.
They're not helpful, mate. Do you repeat that again, Tom? Yeah.
Yeah. Question 4 was, which current Premier League player is leading the assist charts in the Champions League this season? Okay. And question 5, final one of this round. Which Premier League side did not top their group in the Champions League group stage this season? So again, which Premier League side did not top their group in the Champions League group stage this season?
I'm wondering, if for Tom it would be easier if he just repeats the broken down rounds.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. So yeah do it round by round, repeat the questions,
have a repeat of questions 1 to 5, not do the answers, and then we'll move on to 6.
No worries.
Right,
okay,
yeah,
quick rundown of questions 1 through 5 for this round then. So question 1, who were the only team to beat Chelsea in the Champions League in the 2020-2021 season? Question 2, who is the current, i.e. 2021-2022 top scorer in the Champions League? Question 3, the Europa League final in 2021 between Villarreal and Man United ended on penalties, with David De Gea missing the decisive penalty. But who scored Man United's goal in normal time? Question 4, which current Premier League player is leading the assist charts in the Champions League this season? And question 5, which Premier League side did not top their group in the Champions League group stage this season? Okay, cool. Round 2. So this one is all about the Premier League, although, as I say, it does span 2 seasons, but I will always qualify that as we go through. So 8 questions on this round, and 20 points available. So question 6. Which 2 players in the England squad for the Euros were both born in the 21st century? 1 point for each correct name. I say again, which 2 players in the England squad for the Euros were both born in the 21st century? 1 point for each correct name. Okay. Question 7. I've got a feeling you'll like this one, James. Scott Carson made his first Premier League appearance for 10 years in 2021. Which 5 other teams has he played for in the Premier League? 1 point per correct team, and only 5 teams can be named per person.
No, I really don't like that question at all, mate.
These memory test ones, I feel, are really going to pain you.
5
James.
other teams.
Yeah, I'll say it again because it's a bit of a mouthful. So
I can only think of one, Tom, to be honest.
I thought of one.
I've got one. But...
Yeah, when I was putting it together, I was like, I reckon I would have got 1. Maybe 2. Scott Carson made his first Premier League appearance for 10 years in 2021. Which 5 other teams has he played for in the Prem? 1 point per correct team, and you can only submit 5 teams.
He's probably played for teams outside the Prem in that time as well. So it's figuring out who he played for when they were in the Premier League as opposed to League One or wherever else.
Okay. We'll have some time at the end to rethink that. Shall I move on?
Yeah,
Yep.
Go for it.
Okay, question 8. Which 4 players of the Leicester City squad for this season were also in their Premier League winning season squad? 1 point per correct name. I say again, which 4 players of the Leicester City squad for this season were also in their Premier League winning season squad? 1 point per correct name.
It's almost easier to try and remember the team that won it.
Yeah.
Rather
than exactly
the team of now.
Yeah, definitely. That's the way to do it.
I've got three obvious. I can't think of the fourth.
That was the idea there.
Thanks, mate. Love you too.
I wonder if the three that you've got are the same as the three I've got.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right.
The first two are given. The third, I'm fairly sure. Go on, keep it moving.
I'm going to move on. This is question 9. So, other than the relegated teams from the Premier League last season, which other team failed to get to 40 points? So again, other than the teams who were relegated from the Premier League last season, which other team failed to get to 40 points?
So who the bloody hell finished 17th for that is?
Yeah.
Do
you remember who went down, James?
Yeah, but why is it so difficult for me to remember who finished 17th in the end?
There's a reason. Okay, I'm going to move on. Question 10.
I know we were shit. It wasn't Tottenham, Tom.
Question 10. Steve Bruce was sacked as manager of Newcastle United in October 2021. But which club did he manage immediately before he took charge of the Toon? Question 10. Steve Bruce was sacked as manager of Newcastle United in October 2021. But which club did he manage immediately before he took charge of the Toon? Okay. Question 11. Other than Mo Salah, which 4 players have each scored a hat-trick in the Premier League this season? 1 point per correct name.
4 Premier League hat-tricks this year?
Yeah. So question 11. Other than Mo Salah, which 4 players have each scored a hat-trick in the Premier League this season? 1 point per correct name, and you can only submit 4 names.
So should we review every game? I can't think of a single player.
One I've got.
Hat tricks this season. You'd think you'd even see that kind of 17 FPL points or something. Mine is completely blank. All right, crack on, Tom.
Yeah, we okay? So
yeah.
4 names there. Okay, question 12. Now, this is another theme that I remember James being particularly fond of in the charity stream. So, Kazoo, the online car retailer, are the shirt sponsors of which 2 Premier League clubs for the current season?
Oh, nice.
Say again.
Do you know what? The only reason I know this is we nearly signed Kazoo as a client from work. So that's the only reason I've ever paid attention to it. And they're also
there was no collusion, I promise.
No, they also sponsor a number of teams in the Championship as well. So
a bit of a player there. So we're going to say again,
getting their money chucked around.
Yeah, keep talking, lads, while I try and figure out these hat-trick players.
Kazoo, Kazoo, the online car retailer, are the shirt sponsors of which 2 Premier League clubs for the current season? Okay, I'm going to move on. Question 13, final one for this round. When Man United thrashed Southampton 9-0 in February 2021, who was the only player to score more than once in that game? Say that one again. When Man United thrashed Southampton 9-0 in February 2021, who was the only player to score more than once in that game?
That's 13, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, question 13. Yeah, that's right. And that's the final question from that round. So whilst you guys are having a think and scribbling down some answers, I'm going to repeat all of the ones for round 2. So we had 8 questions here. So question 6, which 2 players in the England squad for the Euros were both born in the 21st century? 1 point for each correct name. Question 7, Scott Carson made his first Prem appearance for 10 years in 2021. Which 5 other teams has he played for in the Prem? 1 point per correct team, and only 5 teams per person. Question 8, which 4 players of the Leicester City squad for this season were also in their Premier League winning season squad? 1 point per correct name. Question 9, other than the relegated teams from the Premier League last season, which team failed to get to 40 points? Question 10, Steve Bruce was sacked as manager of Newcastle United in October 2021, but which club did he manage immediately before he took charge of the Toon? Question 11, other than Mo Salah, which 4 players have each scored a hat-trick in the Premier League this season? 1 point per correct name. Question 12, Kazoo, the online car retailer, are the shirt sponsors of which 2 Premier League clubs for the current season? I should say as well, that's 1 point per correctly named team. and you can only answer 2. And question 13, when Man United thrashed Southampton 9-0 in February 2021, who was the only player to score more than once in that game? All good?
No. No.
No?
Definitely not. You know what I'm doing now, Tom, is
You're thinking about previous ones,
and podcasters do this quite a lot. They talk absolute nonsense to fill empty space while they're trying to think of something.
I do understand that. That's why I was going through them, like reading every single word quite deliberately there. So,
now go on, crack on, mate.
Okay, so round 3. So this one's all about transfers. We've got 5 questions, but there are 6 points available here for this one. So let's get on with it. So question 14, from which team did Man United sign Amad Diallo for 19 million in January 2021? Question 14, from which team did Man United sign Amad Diallo for 19 million in January 2021?
Oh, got one.
I'm sure you got more than one. He says patronizingly. Okay, question 15. Jesse Lingard joined West Ham on loan in January 2021. Name 2 of the other 4 sides he has played for on loan. 1 point per correct team. So you can only give me 2 names, 2 teams, and it's 1 point per correct team. Just going to say that one again, a bit of a mouthful. Jesse Lingard joined West Ham on loan in January 2021. Name 2 of the other 4 sides he has played for on loan. 1 point per correct team. Sorry, Suj, did you have a question or something?
No, just...
No. Yeah, his question was, can you ask a different question?
Yeah. I think like it feels like he wouldn't have been on loan recently. It's like probably in his early career when he was a kid, which is like basically forget about it, never going to have a clue.
Okay. Well, you can just chuck some teams down.
I'm going to put some names down, don't worry.
Defo. Rightio. Question 16. Damari Gray signed for Everton for only 1.7 million from which side? Question 16. Damari Gray signed for Everton for 1.7 million from which side? We got some intense thought going on. Okay, question 17. Gigi Wijnaldum left Liverpool to join Paris Saint-Germain in the summer of 2021. But who did he play for before Newcastle United signed him in 2015? I.e., which team did they sign him from?
I was already writing down Newcastle, you bastard.
I'll say again, Gigi Wijnaldum left Liverpool to join PSG in the summer of 2021. But who did he play for before Newcastle United signed him in 2015? Question 18, final one for this round. Which former Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League, and Champions League winner signed for Bournemouth in the summer of 2021? Say again. Which former Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League, and Champions League winner signed for Bournemouth in the summer of 2021?
Are we in 2021, Suj?
We are in 2021, mate.
What's the answer?
Right. I'm going to read those through again. That was the final round from that question. 5 questions, 6 points available. Question 14 was, from which team did Man United sign Amad Diallo for £19 million in January 2021? Question 15, Jesse Lingard joined West Ham on loan in January 2021. Name 2 of the other 4 sides he has played for on loan. 1 point per correct team, and you can only submit 2. Question 16, Damari Gray signed for Everton for £1.7 million from which side? Question 17, Gigi Wijnaldum left Liverpool to join Paris Saint-Germain in the summer of 2021, but who did he play for before Newcastle United signed him in 2015? And question 18, which former Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League, and Champions League winner signed for Bournemouth in the summer of 2021? Okay.
Magic.
Cool. Let's crack on. So round 4, this is kind of more of a generic one. So just on football trivia, again, it all relates to, somewhat loosely relates to 2021, but I've done my best to get some fun ones in there. So question 9, so this is 5 questions, 9 points available. Question 19. Jorginho's penalty brace against Aston Villa in game week 19 saw him move to 9 converted penalties in 2021, equaling the record of penalties scored in a calendar year in the Prem with which 2 other players? 1 point per correct name.
Yikes.
So I'll say that again, bit of a mouthful. So Jorginho's penalty brace against Aston Villa in game week 19 saw him move to 9 converted penalties in 2021, equaling the record of penalties scored in a calendar year in the Prem with which 2 other players? 1 point per correct name.
You know, the other day when Noble scored and he moved up to 4th on the list, I remember seeing the 3 names that were above him. So I'm going to use method of deduction to just pick one of those 2 players that scored more pens than Noble.
I haven't included it in this quiz because I think it came up after I'd done it, Suj, but I think Noble's now scored in every Premier League year since, was it 07 maybe?
Right. 06.
07, yeah.
He's also now, was he joint top West Ham's all-time top goal scorer in the Premier League?
In the Prem, I could believe it. Right?
No, that's Antonio. Antonio is the top, but he tied with Di Canio. That's when he scored. He tied with Di Canio.
Who both now have less goals for West Ham than Chris Armstrong got for Tottenham.
It's just the amount of strikers we've signed, and it's just wretched. Yeah. Right, let's move away from that topic. Okay, question 20. Planet FPL favourite James Ward-Prowse has recently reached double figures for both penalties and direct free kicks with 10 penalties and 11 direct free kicks in the Premier League, a feat matched by Thierry Henry and which 2 other players? 1 point per correct name. So question 20, Planet FPL favourite James Ward-Prowse has recently reached double figures for both penalties and direct free kicks with 10 penalties and 11 direct free kicks in the Premier League, a feat matched by Thierry Henry and which 2 other players? 1 point per correct
double figures for penalties and direct free kicks, is that right?
Yeah, in the Prem, you got it. Only 2 others other than Thierry Henry and James Ward-Prowse. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's a tough one. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Question 21. Bukayo Saka reached 10 Premier League goals in December 2021, making him the second youngest Arsenal player to reach that milestone behind which player? I just muddled my words there a bit, so I'll repeat it again. So Saka reached 10 Premier League goals in December, making him the second youngest Arsenal player to reach that milestone behind which player? And which Arsenal player got to 10 Premier League goals before him?
Go.
Okay, question 22. Sergio Aguero recently announced his retirement. He scored a massive 184 Premier League goals, making him the highest scoring overseas player in history, and behind only Alan Shearer, Wayne Rooney, and which other player in the goal scoring charts? Sergio Aguero recently announced his retirement. He scored a massive 184 Premier League goals, making him the highest scoring overseas player in history, and behind only Alan Shearer, Wayne Rooney, and which other player in the goal scoring charts? Okay, question 23. Which 3 players each scored their 100th Premier League goals in 2021? 1 point per correct name. Only submit 3. So I'll say that one again. Which 3 players each scored their 100th Premier League goals in 2021? 1 point per correct name. There's a lot of face rubbing going on from Suj.
It's not eyes, mate. It's not even the brain. It's this. I'm just not.
This ain't gonna. We really should have ended this at question 1, and we all could have gone home with 100%. Honestly,
I'm going to read through. So some of these questions were quite wordy, so you got some time to think. So question 19. Jorginho's penalty brace against Aston Villa in game week 19 saw him move to 9 converted penalties in 2021, equaling the record of penalties scored in the calendar year in the Prem with which 2 other players? 1 point per correct name. Question 20. James Ward-Prowse has recently reached double figures for both penalties scored and direct free kicks scored with 10 penalties and 11 direct free kicks. A feat matched by Thierry Henry and which 2 other players? 1 point per correct name. Question 21. Saka has now reached 10 Premier League goals, making him the second youngest Arsenal player to reach that milestone behind which other player? Question 22. Sergio Aguero scored a massive 184 Premier League goals, making him the highest scoring overseas player in history, and behind only Alan Shearer, Wayne Rooney, and which other player in the goal scoring charts? And question 23. Which 3 players each scored their 100th Premier League goals in 2021? 1 point per correct name. Cool. Okay. Round 5, FPL. Round which everyone's super excited about, I'm sure.
Let's have it.
Let's have it. Okay. Question. So this is 7 questions, 16 points available. Question 24. Other than Mo Salah, which 3 players each got more than 200 points last season? 1 point per correct name.
So again, in the 2021, not the calendar year.
That's right. Yeah. So in the 2020-2021 season. So other than Mo Salah, which 3 players each got more than 200 points last season? 1 point per correct name, and you can only submit 3 names. I was quite surprised it was only 3, but there you go. Okay. Moving on. So question 25. Who was the top scoring FPL point getter from each of the following teams last season? So I'm going to name a team, and you just need to tell me which of their players scored the most FPL points for that team last season. 1 point per correct name. The teams are Brighton, Wolves, and West Ham. I'll say again, who was the top scoring FPL point getter from each of the following teams last season? Brighton, Wolves, and West Ham. 1 point per correct name.
That's quite grim, Tom. You know that.
Sorry?
It's quite grim, that question.
I think I would have got, none of them. And I'm a West Ham fan who actively plays FPL. So
thanks. I feel a lot better now.
So that should make you feel a bit better. Okay, cool. So a bit more recent now. Cast your minds back to game week 1 from this season. Huge point returns for the widely captained players in Bruno Fernandes and Mo Salah. But which 2 other players also got 15 points or more in that game week? 1 point per correct name. So again, cast your minds back to game week 1. Huge point returns for the widely captained players in Bruno Fernandes and Mo Salah. But which 2 other players also got 15 points or more? 1 point per correct name. Question 27. Which player has won the most penalties this season? So again, question 27. Which player has won the most penalties this season? Okay. Question 28. Prior to game week 19, Cancelo, Mo Salah, and TAA have all had more than 10 5-point plus returns this season, along with which 3 other players? Say that again, because I kind of stumbled over that one. So prior to game week 19, Cancelo, Mo Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold have all had more than 10 5-point plus returns this season, along with which 3 other players? 1 point per correct name.
3 of them, say, Tom.
Yeah. Do you get that question? It's a bit of a wordy one.
Yeah, just go one more time for us.
Yeah. Prior to game week 19, Cancelo, Mo Salah, and TAA have all had more than 10 5-point plus returns this season, along with which 3 other players? 1 point per correct name, and you can only submit 3 names. Okay. Question 29. 3 players, each priced under 7 million currently, lead the way in terms of shots from outside the box. Name those 3. 1 point per correct name. Question 29. 3 players, each priced under 7 million, lead the way in terms of shots from outside the box. Name those 3. 1 point per correct name. You can only submit 3 names. Okay. Question 30.
It's a player a certain fan base keeps slating because he keeps shooting from long range and he never scores. And I'm wondering if he's one of the answers. He can't be.
No.
That's question 30. Which West Ham United player topped the point scoring across the whole game in game week 38 of last season, the final game week of last season, as they saw off Southampton 3-0 at the London Stadium? So again, question 30. Which West Ham United player topped the point scoring across the whole game in game week 38, the final game week of last season, as they saw off Southampton 3-0 at the London Stadium?
God, them FPL ones are right.
They're solid, aren't they? Hey? They are solid, yeah.
Good. Do you want to repeat round 5 FPL and then we can jump back to the beginning? The advantage that the listeners obviously have over us is they've got a pause button. So as we go through the rounds, if there's a question that you need a bit more time on, just use the pause button.
Sure. Okay, no worries. So round 5, FPL, 7 questions, 16 points available. So question 24, other than Mo Salah, which 3 players each got more than 200 points last season? 1 point per correct name. Question 25, who was the top scoring FPL point getter from each of the following teams last season? Brighton, Wolves and West Ham, respectively. 1 point per correct name. Question 26, cast your minds back to game week 1 from this season. Huge point returns for the widely captain players in Bruno Fernandes and Mo Salah. But which 2 other players also got 15 points or more? 1 point per correct name. Question 27, which player has won the most penalties this season? Question 28, prior to game week 19, Cancelo, Mo Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold have all had more than 10 5-point plus returns this season, along with which 3 other players? 1 point per correct name. Question 29, 3 players, each priced under 7 million, lead the way in terms of shots from outside the box. Name those 3, 1 point per correct name. You can only submit 3 names. And question 30, which West Ham United player topped the point scoring across the whole game in game week 38, the final game week of last season, as they saw off Southampton 3-0 at the London Stadium? Now, I should also say there is a round 6 bonus question as well. So it's just 1 question.
Well, in case me and James tie?
No. It's just it was actually an effort to get it to 60 points. But when I was going through this, I think I might have miscalculated the points by 1. So it's kind of redundant anyway. But let me ask it anyway. It's a bonus question.
Go on, let's do it.
I think it's quite a fun question anyway. James will disagree, but that's fine. So the bonus question, we'll call it round 6, and there are 4 points for this one. So in Euro 2020, which was played in 2021, as we know, which 4 current Premier League players each scored 3 or more goals in the tournament? So again, in Euro 2020, which was played in 2021, which 4 current Premier League players each scored 3 or more goals in the tournament? And that, gentlemen, rounds off the quiz. So I think I might have miscalculated the points allowed, but it's going to be around 60. So we'll know that that's what it's out of.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's fine. I'll work that out like now as I go through it. But
we'll figure it out.
Shall I go give a rundown of everything, or is that just a bit too much?
Nah, I think we'll be good by going around.
Actually, can you repeat the bonus question?
A bonus question, yeah, sure. Bonus question: in Euro 2020, which was played in the summer of 2021. Which 4 current Premier League players each scored 3 or more goals in the tournament? 1 point per correct name.
Current as in now, yeah?
Yeah, they currently play in the Premier League, each of these players. 1 point per correct name, and you can only submit 4 names.
How are we feeling, James? You ready to go back to question number 1?
Any that you need repeated?
Or no, there's none I need repeated. It's just I need some answers filling in.
Yeah, rightio. What should we do? Round by round and see how we scored on each of them, and then total them up at the end.
Yeah, let's go through them, mate.
Rightio. Okay, so back to round 1. for European. So question 1 was, who were the only team to beat Chelsea in the Champions League in 2020-2021 season? James, you seem pretty confident.
Porto.
It was Porto.
Beat them in, beat them in Seville.
Beat them in the quarterfinals is what I've got.
Yeah, because they're to play the game. Both legs were played in Seville because they couldn't travel between the two countries.
That's correct. In the quarterfinals, only one team to beat them. Pretty amazing, really. You get that one as well, Suj?
Nope, I put down Atletico Madrid.
Rightio. Okay, so James is off to a flyer. Question 2, who is the current top scorer in the Champions League?
He is the former West Ham United legend, Sebastian Haller.
Indeed, correct, with 10 goals for Ajax. What we could do with him.
He's also Suj's Champions League FPL of fantasy whatever legend as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, got the same.
Good, well done. Question 23. The 2021 Europa League final between Villarreal and Man United ended on penalties, with David De Gea missing the decisive penalty. But who scored Man United's goal in normal time? James?
I couldn't remember this.
No.
I've gone with Cavani.
Suj?
I went with McTominay.
Cavani is correct, James. Great shout. I didn't remember that either. So you're off to an absolute flyer, mate. Well done.
Question... Yeah, that's it. Let's send now. What's that? Is that the postman at the door?
Question 4. Which current Premier League player is leading the assist charts in the Champions League this season? Suj?
I went with Mahrez.
And James?
Do you know what? I don't think that's a bad shout, actually, Suj. I just defaulted to Salah.
It's Bruno Fernandes with 6.
Really?
Oh, wow.
A tough one, right? Okay. Question 5. Which Premier League side did not top their group in the Champions League group stage this season, James?
Chelsea.
Suj?
I had Chelsea as well.
Yeah, Chelsea all the way.
Bet against Juventus, didn't they?
That's right.
So lucky they drew Lille twice.
Second behind Juventus. So well done. So you did pretty well on that round. So we're off to a good start. So how many points did you guys on right now then? Let's try and
2.
2 for Suj.
Yeah, I've written them down.
4. Nice. Question 2, the Premier League. So 8 questions, 20 points available. So question 6, which 2 players in the England squad for the Euros were both born in the 21st century? 1 point for each correct name. Suj?
I have Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden.
And James?
I've got the same.
You'll both get 1 point. It's actually Saka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Only the guy who missed the last penalty. Like.
I just remember putting a tweet out that Bellingham plus Foden equals still younger than me.
Oh, Christ.
And that's why I went for both of them together. It's unbelievable now when your age starts with a 4 and you look at these kids that are in there.
Bad, isn't it? It's when you see a player's career start and end. I think that's tough. The first time that happened to me, I was like, yeah, getting on now. Yeah. Okay. Where are we? We are at question 7. Scott Carson made his first Premier League appearance for 10 years in 2021. Which 5 other teams has he played for in the Premier League? 1 point per correct team. So let's start with you, James. Which 5 have you gone with?
Don't say the one in London, James. Let me have that one.
Go on, say it then.
Charlton.
Charlton is correct, yeah.
Oh, good. At least I got 1.
I know I've definitely got 1 more. I'm really not sure about the rest. Liverpool, Derby, Leeds, and West Brom.
I smashed it, James. So in chronological order. Sorry, Serge, do you want to name your other teams as well?
No.
Well, if James got them all right,
no.
All I can say is I got Derby.
He hasn't.
3 wrong. I put down these are all just random guesses. Villa.
Impeccable timing, Serge. Derby's the only one that's wrong.
Oh, wow. Villa, Wigan, and Sheffield United I had down as well.
Okay, so the from backwards chronological order were West Brom, Aston Villa, Charlton Athletic, Liverpool, and Leeds. Right. That's really good darts, that, James. That's impressive.
I have no recollection of Villa. Did he play in the shit team that went down? I'm sure that
I think there's a couple of these where it's like, there weren't many games, so it was a bit of a smelly question. To be honest.
I've got a Leicester player machine. Well, I'm going to write down that.
So question 8, which 4 players of the Leicester City squad for this season were also in the Premier League winning season squad? 1 point per correct name, and I can only accept 4 names. So, Suj?
Vardy, Schmeichel, Evans, Albrighton.
And James?
I've got Schmeichel, Vardy, Albrighton. I've taken a weird out there punt on Slimani.
You both get 3. So the ones that I would expect people to get, or majority of people to get, were Vardy, Schmeichel, Albrighton, and the other one is Daniel Amati.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, tough.
The one I wanted to
theory
take a punt
that
on.
Slimani had been back there and left again this summer.
It's a really clever shout, mate. I like it. Yeah,
I was going to go with Wes Morgan. I didn't know if he was lingering around as like 16th choice centre half or something.
Great shout, actually. And maybe that retirement parade has finally concluded now for Wes Morgan. I don't know. Right, question 9. Other than the relegated teams from the Prem last season, which other team failed to get to 40 points? James?
I'm pretty sure it's wrong. I've gone Burnley.
And Suj?
I've gone Burnley as well.
You're both correct. Well done. Tough question, that. Yeah.
Oh, tidy.
They actually ended with 4 losses in the last 5, which I think is why we don't remember them finishing 17th, but it was a really bad end to the season for them. So well done.
I think as soon as I wrote it, I was like, oh my God, they won 4-0 at Wolves. It can't
yeah, like lost with 4 in the last 5 to really end with a bit of a whimper. So yeah, well done. Question 10. Steve Bruce was sacked as manager of Newcastle United in October 2021, but which club did he manage immediately before he took charge of the Toon? Suj?
I've got Wigan.
Wigan. And James?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday is correct. He's managed a lot of teams, that man.
He definitely has, mate.
You know, looking through
It's kind of come a point where it's who hasn't he managed is short.
Exactly.
Who he has managed.
It just becomes the chronology, doesn't it? Of like, when was he there and for how long and stuff. But yeah, good answer, James. So question 11. Lots of points on offer here. Other than Mo Salah, which 4 players have each scored a hat-trick in the Premier League this season? 1 point per correct name. Let's start with you, James.
I've got 3, definitely. Bruno against Leeds, Gameweek 1. Mason Mount against Norwich. Josh King against Everton. Last one, I don't know. I'm going to punt Ferran Torres.
And Suj, any advance?
I've got Vardy. Mount, Jorginho. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he had a hat-trick of penalties, but he might have had a brace, which you mentioned earlier in the questions, and Bruno.
Okay, James, the 3 you mentioned are all correct. The one you were missing is Bobby Firmino against Watford, which is a bit of a rogue one.
Which 3 were correct at James?
Sorry, Mason Mount versus Norwich, Josh King versus Everton, and Bruno Fernandes versus Leeds on the opening game week.
Do you know what? It would take me a week to get that Firmino one.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because he's not really featured.
You just don't think of him like that.
No, you don't. Yeah. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, question 12. Kazoo, the online car retailer, are the shirt sponsors of which 2 Premier League clubs for the current season? So do you seem pretty confident? Let's have your 2.
Yeah, Everton and Villa.
And James?
Yeah, same, yeah.
Spot on, both correct. Aston Villa and Everton. Well done, 2 points there. And final question for this round. Question 13. When Man United thrashed Southampton 9-0 in February 2021, who was the only player to score more than once in that game? James?
I punted Martial.
And Suj?
I punted the same, Anthony Martial.
You are both correct. Well done.
Wow.
So, yeah, 7 different scorers in that game and an own goal from Jan Bednarak. So how do you all get on in that one? So I made it 20 points available in that round.
12 for me.
Good. So, James, sorry?
1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 16.
Excellent.
Decent.
Really good. So round 3, this was on transfers. Question 14 was, from which team did Man United sign Amad Diallo for £19 million in January 2021, Suj?
I just picked any old French team, so I've gone with Lille.
Chuckle from James suggests that might not be correct, but what do you say,
to be honest, it might be. But I just love that you went. Why did you go to France anyway?
I don't know. I thought it was French. I don't even know what nationality he is, mate. To be honest with you,
I feel like it's Atalanta, Tom.
It is Atalanta. Nice.
He came from Italy, did he?
Yeah, great shout.
Italia.
Question 15. Jesse Lingard joined West Ham on loan in January 2021. Name 2 of the other 4 sides he has played for on loan. 1 point per correct team. Let's have your 2 then, James.
It's such a brutal question. I might have lucked out here. I've got Birmingham and Derby.
And Suj?
I just picked clubs that were close to Manchester because when you're a kid, you want to go out on loan. You don't want to be travelling all around the country. So I just went Burnley and Macclesfield.
Okay.
He might be a 17-year-old kid or something.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
He still is. He is.
He is. Yeah, his best years are ahead of him, definitely. 2 points, James. Well done. The 4 that he could have picked from are Leicester City,
Yeah.
Birmingham City, Brighton, and Derby County.
Yeah.
Some of them do ring a bell after you see them, I think, but not many.
Leicester's one I should have had.
Yeah. Okay, question 16. Damari Gray signed for Everton for 1.7 million from which side? Who are we saying, James?
One of my favourite away days, I think, by Leverkusen.
And Suj?
Well, I got down Germany because I thought you'd let me have the country, not the club. But I actually put down Leipzig. I knew you came from Germany. I just didn't know where.
I'll give you half a point because I didn't. Did I say it? I didn't.
No,
I
you
did
said
say
club.
which side. I did say which side, so I can't even.
I was trying to be cheeky and just get away, knowing that he came from Germany, but I didn't know where in Germany he came from.
Bayer Leverkusen is correct.
It's like you've got halfway through and you've gone, fuck this. I'm going to rebel.
No, this was the toughest round, to be fair. I think the FPL round, for example, I think is more fun or points on the way.
Yeah, okay.
It was Leverkusen, wasn't it?
It was, mate. Yeah, Bayer Leverkusen, 1.7 million. Question 17, Gigi Wijnaldum left Liverpool to join Paris Saint-Germain in the summer of 2021. But who did he play for before Newcastle United signed him in 2015? Suj?
Feyenoord?
And James?
Could be. I've gone PSV.
PSV is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, nice signing there for the tune. Question 18. Which former Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League and Champions League winner signed for Bournemouth in the summer of 2021? James?
It took me a while. Gary Cahill.
And Suj?
Blank.
Gary Cahill is correct. Is that a full points then, James? That's amazing. Six points were on offer then.
Don't worry, that's the end of me now.
That's sensational.
That's the end of me now.
Well, that was a donut for me. So,
gosh,
it's
feast
the start
or famine,
of me, James. Yeah,
feast or famine in that one. Okay, round 4 football trivia. So, question 19, wasn't it? Yeah, question 19. Jorginho's penalty brace against Villa in game week 19 saw him move to 9 converted penalties in 2021. Equaling the record of penalties scored in the calendar year in the Prem with which 2 other players? 1 point per correct name. Which 2 did you put down, Suj?
I've got Shearer and Lampard.
And James?
Lampard's a great shot. I've gone Shearer and Kane.
No points for either of you.
Told you go downhill.
Matt Letizia in 1994 and Steven Gerrard in 2014.
So Gerrard was the third on the list above.
Yeah.
Shearer, Lampard, Gerrard.
I would have got the Gerrard one. There's no way I would have got Letizia because I just didn't think they scored enough goals.
Sorry, can I just say that I've written down Letizia and Gerrard for 20, so I've obviously done these in the wrong order. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Have you genuinely?
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, question 20 is the James Ward-Prowse one. So James Ward-Prowse has recently reached double figures for both penalties and direct free kicks scored with 10 pens and 11 direct free kicks in the Prem. A feat matched by Thierry Henry and which 2 other players? 1 point per correct name. Let's come to you then, Suj.
Gerrard and Beckham.
And James?
Beckham definitely wouldn't have the penalties. Generally, Letizia and Gerrard.
Over a career, I thought,
You went Letizia and Gerrard?
Yeah.
So it's actually Cristiano Ronaldo.
And I didn't think he'd have that many free kicks.
Yeah, he scored a lot early doors. And Ian Hart was the real rogue.
Great shot.
He was at one stage. It was like a penalty for him, a free kick.
He'd have been properly loved FPL.
Yeah, he would. You're absolutely right. Definitely. Okay, question 21. Excuse me. Saka has now reached 10 Premier League goals. He did it in December, making him the second youngest Arsenal player to reach that milestone behind which player? Suj?
I've gone with Anelka.
And James?
Well, I figured if Theo Walcott went to a World Cup at 16, he must have got 10 Premier League goals by the time he was 21.
It's congratulations to Suj with Anelka.
No!
Oh, yes! I need a certificate for this moment.
Telling me in his first 5 years at Arsenal, Theo Walcott didn't get the 10 Premier League goals.
Very nice. Apparently not. Well, maybe not quite as quick. Yeah.
Wow. He scored a hat-trick for England in Croatia when he was 19. That's incredible.
Right. Where are we? Question 2022. Excuse me. Sergio Aguero recently announced his retirement. That's why I managed to shoehorn this question in. He scored a massive 184 Premier League goals, making him the highest scoring overseas player in history and behind only Alan Shearer, Wayne Rooney, and which other player in the goal scoring charts? Who are we saying, James?
I've got Henry.
I think
if Aguero is the highest scoring overseas player, how can Henry be above him?
You got it.
That's the wrong answer then, isn't it? Andy Cole.
No take backs.
Who are we saying, Suj?
I've got Celeste down. Les Ferdinand.
It is Andy Cole.
Of course, it's fucking Andy Cole, you idiot, James.
That's unfortunate. I was yes, it's all inferred in the question, but there you go. That's life. 23. Question 23. Which 3 players each scored their 100th Premier League goals in 2021? 1 point per correct name. Let's start with usage. Which 3 names you say?
I've got, I know Mane and Sterling definitely. Sterling was only the other day. Mane, I remember his 100 goals. And then it's got to be Salah, surely, as the third. Salah or Lukaku or Ronaldo. I'm going to go Salah,
Sterling and Mane. And James?
To be honest, I've got Sterling, Salah, and I was going to pluck Son out as a third name. No, he hasn't.
3 for you, Suj, and 2 for you, James. It is
Tidy.
It is Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, and Raheem Sterling, respectively.
Yeah, the other one I thought it might be Lukaku, but they would have made a bigger deal out of it when he came back to Chelsea. And I don't even know how many goals he scored, mate, in the Premier League, to be honest with you.
So that was 9 points available in that round. How did you guys do? Felt like a bit of a swingy one.
That was a round. 2.
4.
That was a round. Yeah, 4. Okay. Round 5 was FPL. So 16 points available here. Excuse me. Question 24. Other than Mo Salah, which 3 players each got more than 200 points last season? 1 point per correct name. Which 3 then, James?
Son, Kane, Mane.
And Suj?
I've got Son, TAA, and Ederson.
Okay, it's 2 points for you, James. So you're looking for Harry Kane, Bruno Fernandes, and Heung-min Son.
Bruno, what's wrong with me?
Feels a long time ago, though, right?
It does.
Yeah, because his points would have been early doors in that season rather than maybe the second half when he really kind of dropped off as well. So question 25. Who was the top scoring FPL point getter from each of the following teams last season? So I'm going to read the team and then I'm going to come to each of you individually. So Brighton, Suj?
I went with Lewis Dunk.
And James?
I got the same.
Okay. Wolves, Suj?
Oh, Neves. I was tempted to pick one of the defenders, but I got Neves.
James, who you saying for Wolves?
Did I change my mind, actually?
I don't know.
Yeah, get fucking.
He changed his mind on that Thierry Henry, Andy Cole shit.
I marked myself down. I'm
going to go Rui Patricio for Wolves.
And James, who you saying for Wolves?
I got Neto.
West Ham United, Suj?
I got Antonio.
Pressure.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I've gone Cresswell.
Okay.
Oh, great shout, James.
This is actually controversial because so we'll start with Brighton, who's actually Trossard, 135 points.
Okay.
Wolves, Suj, your take back gets you a point because Patricio is top scorer with 130, and I'm going to let you have that. And West Ham United, James, that is a great shout with Aaron Cresswell, 153 points.
Yeah, I like that Cresswell shout.
We're missing him, aren't we, Suj? Yeah, big time. Yeah. Right, question 26. So casting your minds back to game week 21, huge point returns for the widely captain players in Bruno Fernandes and Mo Salah. But which 2 other players also got 15 points or more in that game week? 1 point per correct name. James, which 2?
I've got 1, and I'm not even convinced that's right. I got Emmanuel Dennis.
And Suj?
Can you repeat the question again?
Sure, yeah. So in game week 1, we had a huge point return for Bruno Fernandes and Mo Salah. But which 2 other players also got 15 points or more in that game week? 1 point per correct name. Which 2?
Sorry, I reheard game week 21 and I was like, we haven't had 21.
I've got a name I want to throw in for a second.
I've got Antonio and blank.
Okay, and James, you can add a name.
I want to throw in Marcus Alonso.
So you pick up a point with Alonso. Well done. I would have thought both of you guys would have got this. It was Paul Pogba and his crazy points.
All the assists.
All the mad assists. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But a long time ago, and it's a difficult one. So, question 27: which players won the most penalties this season? Let's go to usage.
I have down Callum Hudson-Odoi.
I like that.
And James?
I was thinking it really should be a Chelsea player, so I've gone for Sterling.
It's actually Lacazette with 4.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
none of the above.
He's won a lot.
That's mad.
Okay, this one is a bit of a mouthful. I didn't like the wording on this question, but question 28. Prior to game week 19, Cancelo, Mo Salah, and TAA have all had more than 10 5-point plus returns this season, along with which 3 other players a point per correct name? James, let's go to you for your 3.
I've gone Diaz, Ederson, and Rudiger.
Okay, and Suj?
I've gone Gallagher, Jota, and Diaz.
Okay, so Ruben Diaz is correct. Virgil van Dijk is the other name, and Edison. So James, well done. Good effort there. Question 29. 3 players, each priced under 7 mil, currently lead the way in terms of shots from outside the box this season. Name those 3. 1 point per correct name. Let's go to you, Suj.
Benrahma, Gallagher, and Smith Rowe.
Okay, and James?
Gallagher. Why have I not got Gallagher written down? Well done, mate. I've gone Dennis, Trossard, and Bowen.
So the ones you were looking for are Rafinha, Cancelo, and Benrahma.
Oh,
so Benrahma's a great shout.
Get in there.
Yeah, well done.
Cancelo. What a player.
Cancelo, yeah.
He loves
He
a
does have a lot
shot,
of
Benrahma.
shots. Okay, and question 13, the final one of the FPL round, was which West Ham United player topped the point scoring across the whole game in game week 38, the final game week of last season, as they saw off Southampton 3-0 at the London Stadium? Got to go to you, Suj.
He drinks sangria, he eats paella, Pablo Fornals.
And James?
I guess it's not Declan Rice then.
Well, I reckon Declan Rice is partial to a bit of sangria. And
well done, Suj. Pablo Fornals with a massive 19 points.
Just remembered Rice scored in the game and I thought, oh, maybe.
So we had...
Fornals scored 2, set up 1 and picked up a clean sheet and a bit of bonus as you go as well.
See, he ain't giving me Tottenham questions to help me, is he?
No, I was like, oh, should try and find one for Spurs, but yeah.
Do you know, I was yesterday, I was so tempted to DM you, Tom, and just be like, come on, give me a few revision topics, help a fellow hammer out, but I didn't want to.
No, got to be, there's integrity here in that. So, okay, so that was 16 points available. How did you guys get on, Suj?
4.
What about your bonus queue, Tom?
Yeah, I got that as the final one. So just on that one.
Oh, what was it from 24?
16 points there was in round 5.
6.
Okay. And the bonus question, 4 points on this one. So in Euro 2020, played in the summer of 2021, which 4 current Premier League players each scored 3 or more goals in the tournament? James?
I've only got 2 written down. Sterling, Kane.
Mm-hmm. And so
I've got 4 written down. Sterling, Kane are 2 of them, although Kane I'm not so sure about.
Mm-hmm.
I've got down Cristiano Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. He loves a goal.
Oh, bloody hell.
And Romelu Lukaku.
4 out of 4, Suj.
Oh, yes. I thought Lukaku, Ronaldo, Sterling was fine. It was Kane.
Really well done.
I was trying to fit a countries rather than just going through the Premier League clubs. It would have been so much easier.
No, and then I was thinking, Suchek, did he back-whack in a few? So if I ended up just Kane as default.
Well done, mate. 4 out of 4 for the bonus question. So if I've added up the points correctly, which I think I have, it's out of 60. So tot your totals up and let me know how you got on.
16, 9.
I think the one I did for in the charity stream, James, was probably even harder. So because I think the scores in that one was...
Say I remember it, but I don't remember.
You're right. It is out of 60.
60.
My maths adds yours. I got 26.
26,
so
right.
Take all day.
Yeah, defo, man.
Especially after a donut on the transfer.
Yeah. And James?
36 by looks of it.
Love it. Well done.
Oh, decent.
So that's it. That's the big fat quiz of 2021 concluded.
Well done, Tom.
Lovely, man. Jubbly. And listeners,
thoroughly enjoyed it.
I hope you enjoyed it too. You can find Tom at UtterlyTC on Twitter. Always talking sense, really. And you're still doing your match of the day roundups and all of that kind of bits and pieces.
I mean, to be honest, they've dropped off a bit during Christmas because it's been a bit funky with how the games have been played.
Yeah,
and elongated game weeks. But that'll be back once we get to kind of more scheduled, games in the new year. And can I just say, there's a bit of a just an aside here, but look, we were talking before we started recording, and I didn't play FPL last year. I had a really tough personal year there. And look, the FPL community is derided in many circumstances. But people who've been impacted by any kind of mental health, they will know that there are a lot of good people. And I count you both in that. And James especially was so good to me last year, along with Tom from Who Got the Assist and Brandon on the Always Cheating podcast. And I understand that you guys stand tall and the community is a good place. So for any hatred out there, and when things get bad, try and remember that this is a game, it's fun, and take it for what it is. And I thank you both very much.
Oh, it's very kind of you to say. And I think that the challenge is that negativity gets amplified massively, and positivity just doesn't seem to get amplified in the same way that negativity does. And there are, like you said, so many good positive voices and supportive people.
There are.
And the people that are part of the community that we engage with, you consider them as friends as
Definitely,
much as anything
we
else.
do.
So it's very kind of you to say, and the same goes for all listeners out there.
Definitely.
If and when you ever want to kind of reach out, you always can, because it's
and people who do will find the same that I did, and it's important to remember that. And it's given me a different stance of philosophy towards the game from last year when I didn't play it, and having an okay season, but I kind of whatever about that. It's fun. We take it seriously, but there's more to life to that than that.
I say all the time about my DMs. I'd love to shut my DMs because I'm tired of people sending me screenshots of their FPL teams and asking me what transfer I should make your own transfer. You want to ask me, it's fine. But generally, the reason my DMs are open is what Tom just said.
Yeah.
Anybody can come and approach me anytime and say, I need some help. What do you think, etc. And I will always take the time to listen and help in any way that I can.
And I think as well, even when it's not that deep, actually, I found as well, just having the familiarity of you guys coming into your ears, like on the podcast every day, and I'm a Patreon subscriber as well. That routine and just regularity of content as well. It was escapism, and can't thank you enough. So even the kind of more intangible stuff that you guys do, which you mightn't even be aware of, is massive. And I think I can speak for a lot of people in saying that that's been super helpful, and I'm sure will continue to be. So thank you.
Thank you, mate. The only reason me and Suj pod together is because we've got no other friends, so we talk to each other. It's quite good.
It is partially true, and we'll be back with that in mind tomorrow, James, depending on when you're listening to this, which will be Friday, New Year's Eve, reviewing Gameweek 20, the 7 games that took place this week, and prepping ourselves for New Year's Day football as well. So wherever you listen to the podcast, make sure you are subscribed. Other than that, it is really important right now to stay safe. I was reading this morning, James, 187,000 people in the UK getting COVID in the last time they recorded.
There's no COVID test left, so I don't know. This is
now the problem, right? Like, what happens if you feel a bit under the weather or ill? You can't get a PCR test, you can't get a lateral flow. So, as I say each and every show, please stay safe, look after yourselves, and ciao for now.
Thanks, Tom. Have a great New Year, everyone. Cue music, please, man. Ciao.